Mayor, I think it should be on behalf of the council as well, as discussed in closed session. I think there's a lack of confidence in the use of municipal equipment by any individuals that have had issues with technology. As in the past, we've actually had as well. So I don't know if that needs a motion or a second.
I can tell you that I make the appointments for the committees. In this particular case, the person that I believe you're discussing is somebody that I have and hope to continue to trust as a friend. I will not take a position on whatever motion you wish to place for no other reason because I cannot vote unless there is a tie. But I will entertain a motion and I will follow the guidance of council with regard to any motion they wish to place forward.
So I have moved.
What would you like to move?
If I could reference, in the past, I remember during you were here, there was an individual who had taken computer parts, if you recall, and that individual was no longer allowed to utilize computers in the municipality. And I think we discussed in council, I think that should be done across the board. You know, if there's an issue that comes up, especially with the use of technology, I'm not saying that the individuals cannot serve in some capacity, but with the use of confidential information in the municipality or recording information within the municipality should be limited. So, I don't know how council wants to word it. I know it's something we had discussed.
I'm not sure that I'm clear on what you're saying. What is the motion that you want to make right now?
The motion that no individual that has had any issues with the municipality as far as the use of this technology can utilize municipal equipment.
So are you saying because the person in question has breached our trust and we no longer
yes, just like
trust
in the
them
past
with
with other
municipal
individuals.
equipment, that they should no longer be on anything that is
Right.
assigned committee?
It's not being targeted at one particular individual.
Well, I'm just trying to be
in general, that's
clear.
been the protocol in the past, and I want to continue. Not to say that an individual can have volunteer different things and get involved.
But to have an actual position within the township
Utilizing
after
technology
breaching our trust.
related to the same.
Yeah. I think that's what you're trying to say.
Access to.
Or access
Yes,
to.
I mean, yeah.
Or any handling of municipal equipment.
Right.
You want me to try to prepare something for the next meeting, like a resolution that, you know, no person that reaches whatever or something?
It was done in the
Well, I
past,
don't
so
have
I want to
access
continue
to-
the practice to be.
You're looking to throw something right now?
I mean, now or later, it doesn't matter. I mean, we talked about it.
I'm not clear on exactly what you're asking us to do at this point. I think that you had previously mentioned that since you feel that there may be a lack of trust with regard to
Anybody who lost the trust of the council would be in the feeling of consent that information could be leaked, especially with access to municipal technology. I feel a little reserved being able to speak freely in closed sessions or even during meetings in regards to particular certain matters. So anyone who falls under that category should not have access to municipal equipment.
I don't feel that anybody who has breached our trust as a council should have an appointed position by mayor or council. I think that those positions are chosen because those are people within the community that we trust, and they're doing the best for the community. These are 4 times now. The next time we're saying we're going to press charges, but we want to keep this person in a position of trust, a position that we pick who goes there, or the mayor picks who goes there. That's really the issue. I mean, if you're trying to single out one person, you can just come out and say that.
I think since I choose individuals, you need to be clear on who it is you're talking about. Because I'm not going to start removing people because based on my judgment, somebody has violated our trust. If you have an issue with an individual, I will certainly take that under advisement, and I ask if you have a specific issue with a specific individual, that you make the motion now, and that my promise is that as the mayor who makes the appointments, I will remove a specific individual
I think
from a
what we
particular
would be
position.
best, and I think, again, putting all of what we discussed in closed session as council, it'd be best to put together a resolution for next meeting and then go over it then. So we'll be able to pinpoint, it'll be right.
To do what? To remove Saul Kirsten from the committee, is that what you're saying?
I'm saying if that's,
I think what Councilman Yagabar is trying to say that we appointed an individual, and no offense, so,
I'm not saying one person.
and, well, whatever. Well, let's get to the point. Let's cut the
Yeah, please.
trust was violated with the tape recorder. And we as council feel that we trusted you enough with our equipment and your equipment to be here to record whatever it is. And that was violated. And we feel that we don't have that trust now. That's where we're getting to the point. Let's cut the chase. And there we would like to remove Saul from any position that you hired him at this point. That's it. We're gonna say it, let's just say it.
Say
But I don't want to limit it to one person, it'd be any individual going forward, or had before, we should have done the same, so.
Well, we don't have a motion pending right now, but here's the problem with what you're saying. You're asking me to make a judgment call based on this vague notion of somebody violating our trust without you telling me the person or the specific circumstance. If you want somebody removed from an appointed position that I've appointed them to from a board, say the person's name, say what you want to say, make the motion, and I will remove that person from the position. If you don't want to say the person's name and say what the allegation is, then I'm not committed to removing somebody based on some vague notion. So I'm asking you point blank, if you want to address this issue, say the person's name, say what the issue is, and then I will entertain the motion.
The problem is not one particular person. When you create a law or you create an ordinance or you put something on the books, it is not to single out or to target a particular individual. In fact, that made it borderline illegal. The idea is to make it a policy as a whole, that anyone who has went ahead and has lost the council's trust altogether, no matter what that situation is, and the council feels that way, should not be allowed to hold a position within the municipality, period.
Who is the person you're talking about?
Did you not hear what I just said?
I don't know if we as council have the right to put such a restriction upon the mayor's power to appoint and remove appointees from their position. I think that that is something that's within the mayor's purview. And if we then, I'm not sure I feel comfortable having us infringe upon those powers without knowing whether or not we have the ability to do that as council. I think a mayor's appointee or appointment is something that he should feel comfortable with, or he's allowed to appoint. And I don't think we're allowed to infringe upon that.
And the commitment that I made when we started this discussion was, if you tell me that you have an issue with a particular individual, I will take the council.
I don't have an issue. I don't understand why it's I have an issue. As council has discussed, any individual who had, and I repeat, I'll say it louder, any individual who has lost the lack of trust from council for certain violations of regulations should not serve in any committees, period. Not one person over another, period. At that point, you do with it what you want to do with it.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
I believe that the motion is, if there is a level of distrust with any individual, that we review that and determine whether they should be on any appointed position in the borough. Are there any other questions or comments with regard to that motion?
Are we getting into the position of, I'm trying to think back my cop days, he's guilty before a trial? In other words, there's no, basically due process. And the fact that, yes, things were done, but was it done maliciously or was it done just, hindsight? So in other words, what I'm trying to say is that we're almost saying that the guy is guilty before he had a trial.
Well, trust is a
Well,
subjective.
trust or
Trust is a subjective measure, and in order to know that somebody's trust has been violated, you have to know who the person is that's being accused of.
Okay. I don't have anything against Mr. Kirsten, I'll say that, but I feel that anyone in the municipality who has violated the trust of the council or has done something that's not within the confines of our ordinances should not serve in any committees whatsoever that works within the confines of utilizing borough equipment. Period.
I don't think you need, an appointee doesn't have a right to a position. They're hired and fired or relieved at the mayor's discretion.
So that's what.
So whether or not there was a finding of guilt, I don't think really factors into it. Any appointee can be removed for any possible reason. Not doing their job, not doing it well, not getting along with the mayor. So I think we're kind of going down an area here where if we're going to make a motion to remove anybody and everybody, again, I don't think that is council's purview to infringe upon the mayor's right to make those decisions. And I quite frankly agree, Mayor, I can see how you're struggling with the motion. I don't really quite understand it either. I think it's more of a symbolic motion that we should all be having to tell you that you have our confidence. And unfortunately, there was a violation of trust, and that you are well within your rights to remove him, and that put forward to the right motion. I'll vote for it.
I might make a suggestion that we table that motion. If you do want to discuss it further next meeting, we can discuss it further next meeting. In fact, the appropriate time may be at the beginning of the meeting when we discuss the new resolution regarding the placement of recording devices, and we read the letter and any additional information provided to Mr. Kiersden, who I believe is probably the subject of what you were talking about, based on the fact that council has agreed that the recording device was improperly left behind on several occasions. We believe that the allegation is 4 occasions at this point. So do I hear a motion to table the prior motion until our next meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? That motion has been tabled. It is now 12:05 a.m. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you, everybody, for your patience this evening. This meeting is adjourned.